In this situation, I was tasked to make a couple ounces of FECO for someone. Yo, welcome back to Urban Street 420. I'm your host 40. Today we are going to take this dish, which I used to make FECO in, and we are going to reclaim the FECO that's stuck to the sides of this dish. Mind you, normally when I make FECO, I do it in a much smaller glass, something like this, right? And I fill this with tincture, I put cheesecloth over the top, I wrap a rubber band around it, I put this on a coffee cup warmer, and I evaporate it over the course of 1 or 2 days. Now, mind you, that's what I'm making, gummies or something like that, and I'm going to use FECO instead of tincture or whatever, right? In this situation, I was tasked to make a couple ounces of FECO for someone, and so we needed to evaporate on a larger scale. Mind you, I did not do assisted evaporation. I used zero heat. What I did is I filled this with 1 liter of tincture, and I put it inside the oven. And one of the reasons I put it inside the oven is because no bugs are going to get in there, no dust's going to get in there, and I just let it sit. Obviously, if I had to use the oven, I took it out of the oven while I used it and then waited for the oven to cool down before I put it back in. It took slightly over a week to evaporate 1 liter of tincture. And 1 liter of tincture made approximately an ounce, right? So anyways, this is the leftovers that's in here. I used a razor blade to scrape this up, and yesterday what I did is I took the razor blade, I took a pot, I dropped the razor blade in the pot, filled it with some milk, and I boiled it on the stove. Almost boiled it, right? Simmered it. All of the oil came off the razor blade, creating a milk with some FECO in the milk. I then put some hot chocolate mix in there, and I had hot chocolate last night. And I got blasted, yo. So my thought is to fill this with some milk. I have the oven set to 70 degrees Celsius. I'll put what that is up in Fahrenheit. Basically put on a super low setting on your oven. We're not trying to do anything other than to warm this up so it becomes more liquidy. I'm then gonna take the silicone stirring tool to scrape the sides with the milk in here, and then we'll put it back in for 20-30 minutes, make sure everything is infused. We'll then take it out, we'll dump the milk into another container to save, and then I can make it milk chocolate, hot chocolate. I could put the milk in my coffee, for example, whatever I want to do. So let's get started, huh? All right, so we're closer. I have the dish here. You can see the FECO stuck, and it is everywhere. You'll notice that I was just scraping away inside here. There's no method to the madness here. All I'm going to do is take this milk like so, and you know how much milk we put in? I don't know, huh? Whatever was in here. I don't know how much that was. I mean, my guess is it was, let's see, 300 milliliters, something like that, give or take. Anyways, so if we look at this, it doesn't cover the FECO on the sides, right? But I think that's okay. We're just going to put this inside the oven. Again, we have it at a very low temp. The idea is not to boil this. It's just to get everything liquidy so we can then take this spatula or this silicone stir and scrape the sides, and yeah. What do you guys do with your leftover FECO? Do you scrape it up? Do you just try to eat it with your finger? What do you do? This is my solution. All right, let's put it in the oven. We will see you in about 15 minutes where we take this out, scrape the sides, and then we'll put it back in the oven. All right, so it's been in there for about 10 minutes. We're taking it out right now. It was at 150 degrees Fahrenheit or almost 70 degrees Celsius. What we're going to do is we're going to take our little silicone stir and just rub the sides of this glass. Now, obviously, use a pot holder or something like that because this thing's going to be hot. But all we're going to do is go around the sides and just try to dislodge the material from the sides of the glass. I'm not going to talk. I'm just going to do this. And you'll notice that there's tons of like little black specks in here, and that's all the FECO. Now, how strong is this going to be? I mean, it depends how much material is inside of this. This is kind of Russian roulette, but that's fine. You know, when I try this, I will just pour a little bit in a coffee and see how it makes me feel, and I will adjust accordingly, right? I would not be a hero here and say, hey, let's do this all in one go. I imagine it would not feel nice. I think it would be pretty potent because the reality is what I tried last night just with the razor blade, I was blasted, huh? And it was just what was on the razor blade. So anyways. After doing the sides, you're going to want to take your silicone stir and rub the bottom, right? Just to dislodge anything that's being stubborn. Now obviously I can't see through the milk to see exactly what's where. Just go over the whole thing. And I'm not pressing too hard, but I'm also pressing hard enough that I would dislodge anything that's connected. I'm going to grab my cell phone in a second to show you what the milk looks like right now, and then we're going to put it back in the oven. We're going to drop the temperature to the lowest setting on the oven, and we'll leave it there for 30 minutes. Alright, I just wanted to show you what the milk looks like. There's some on the silicone stir as well. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop the silicone stir in this and leave it in there, because as this heats up and stays in there, it should probably come off the silicone stir. Now, are there any on the sides? There are, right? And I keep wiping with add a little milk, wipe, etc. Some of this stuff is not going to come off, right? And that's okay. So yeah, let's just drop this in there. Let's go ahead and put the pot holder on, and let's grab this and let's put it back in the oven. We're going to leave it in the oven at 50 degrees. I think 50 or 60 degrees is the lowest setting Celsius on my oven. I'll put what that is in Fahrenheit, but just put it on the lowest setting of your oven, right? We're going to leave it in there for 30 minutes. We'll come back, we'll take it out, and we'll see you guys then, baby. All right, so it's been about 30 minutes, a little over, and we're taking it out of the oven. You're going to notice that it is not boiling, right? That's because we had it on the lowest temperature of the oven. Now, the challenge is, I think I'm going to use this container and hopefully not spill. But, you know, because I said that, probably we're going to. First things first, we want to fish out the silicone stir that's in there, just so that doesn't make us make a bigger mess. Now, there may be some FECO on this, but that's okay. We're going to throw this in the sink. We're not going to worry about saving every little speck at this point. Any of the FECO that's in here, we're not going to strain either. We're just going to pour this in here. We are going to use it like this. Obviously, the little bits and pieces of FECO are going to make that part a little bit stronger. But yeah, let's see, how are we going to do this? I'm grabbing a towel right here, or a paper towel, to see if that will help. Let's see. Well, we made a little bit of a mess, but we got most of it in there. Come on, one more. The thing is, this is a weird angle. All right. You'll notice that the bottom of this looks super clean, right? Most of it came off. And there's still some on the sides, but we're not going to worry about that. We'll clean this with isopropyl alcohol later after we finish the video. But let's go ahead and give this a try. Right here, I have 1 cup of espresso, which is 2 shots of espresso, right? I also have 2 tablespoons of vanilla syrup. So this is going to be an iced vanilla latte, right? I do have milk right here because we're just going to take a tablespoon of this because I don't know how strong it is, right? So, for example, if I use this to fill this cup up and it is too strong, I'm not going to enjoy myself. So, yeah. Let's just go ahead and take maybe more than 1 of these spoonfuls, maybe 2 of these spoonfuls, which is about a tablespoon. We'll throw that in the sink. We're going to close this up. We'll put this in the fridge. This should be good for a couple weeks, week and a half, something like that. We'll finish it before then. I'm going to drop an ice cube in here. This is the fork that we use to scoop out the silicone stir, so that's fine. We'll just use this to mix that up. We'll take a little bit of, this is a brand new container of milk. We'll go ahead and open this up. All right, and we'll fill it rest with milk. So now this is a nice vanilla latte. We'll move the camera back. We'll give it a try. I'll see you guys in a second, baby. I mean, I'm a big fan of iced vanilla lattes. You don't have to make this an iced vanilla latte. You could just add this to whatever coffee you want to make. You could use it to make hot chocolate. You could just drink the milk. You could use the milk, this FECO milk, to make ice cream. The options are unlimited, right? And so how do you save your leftover FECO? If you're making it in a large dish and you evaporate, what do you do with the leftovers? Do you heat it up upside down to get everything to drip out? Some people do that. Do you make milk? What do you do? Leave it in the comments. Maybe you'll teach me something. I don't know, baby. Either way, this tastes delicious, and this is a way. Now, here's the thing, right? I don't know if this is going to get me stoned. A lot, a little bit, I'm not sure, right? But going easy on the first batch of something that there's no way for us to calculate is important, right? It's not important. If you don't care how your day goes and maybe you get too super stoned, you feel like crap or whatever, I don't want to do that, right? So starting off simple, The tablespoon that we put in should be a good medium-ish dosage, but I'm not sure, right? This may be a lot, it may be a little. Now, if I was to drink this whole amount of milk, I'm pretty sure it would be a bad time. But again, this is based on your tolerance, based on my tolerance, etc. So for me, I'd like to check, and so 1 tablespoon, let's see how it makes me feel. I can leave in the comments if you guys want whether it made me high or not, but that won't determine whether it gets you high or not, right? Because it depends on the amount of milk, the amount of material. There's a lot of factors, right? So if you do decide to do this, start off slow so you don't overdo it and cause yourself a miserable time, right? Guys, gals, everybody, I hope you like this video, and I also hope that my back is better next week because it's slowing me down, huh? I was not as productive as I wanted to be this week. However, I have some cool things in store for you. I have these laser cut art projects I'm going to start doing and selling. In fact, I'm going to do a video on how I made them. So if you want to make it yourself and you have the right materials, you can go ahead and do so. Or if you want, you can pick up one of the ones that I make. Also, we've got a couple of reviews coming next week, and we have some more recipes, and I promised somebody I was going to do an infused MCT video on the stovetop, so we'll do that as well. By the way, tomorrow's my birthday, right? I'm not excited. Too many things have been happening lately in my back, but I am going to dinner on Saturday with some friends, so be sure to get super, super blasted on Saturday. Guys, gals, everybody! I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like, share, subscribe. What am I doing, baby? Till next time, I'm out!